For generations, we believed we knew the story of our own beginning. We were told that we farmed, then we settled, and finally we built our first monuments. But in the hills of southeastern Turkey, there is a place that defies this logic, a place that suggests our ancestors reached the summit long before we thought possible. This is Göbekli Tepe. It is 11,500 years old. It predates the pyramids by 6 millennia and Stonehenge by 7. It is a masterpiece of the Stone Age, built by a people who, according to our textbooks, shouldn't have been capable of such a feat. To understand the magnitude of this discovery, we must look at how it was found and what it revealed about our hidden past. In 1994, German archaeologist Klaus Schmidt revisited a site that had been dismissed decades earlier as a mere medieval cemetery. He noticed the sheer density of flint chips on the surface, a sign of massive stoneworking. He knew he wasn't looking at a cemetery. He was looking at a temple. As the trenches deepened, the world watched in disbelief. Massive circular enclosures, some 30 meters across, emerged from the earth. At the heart of each circle stood 2 towering T-shaped pillars, reaching 6 meters high and weighing over 15 tons each. But the shock wasn't just the architecture, it was the lack of everything else. No homes, no hearths, no domesticated seeds, no trash pits. These were the works of hunter-gatherers. People who, until now, we believed lived in small, mobile bands without permanent structures. How did a pre-agricultural society organize the hundreds of laborers needed to carve, transport, and erect these giants? With only flint and bone tools, they shaped limestone with the precision of a jeweler. There were no metal chisels here, no wheels to aid the transport. They carved these pillars directly from the limestone plateau, moving them hundreds of meters up the slope to their final positions. This required a level of social organization and leadership we thought was reserved for the agricultural age. It was a massive logistical triumph. But the stones are more than just architecture. They are canvases. They are crowded with a fierce, wild world of spirits. Lions, foxes, boars, and scorpions. Unlike later cultures that depicted domestic animals, Göbekli Tepe is a monument to the wild. On Pillar 43, we see a complex arrangement of vultures and snakes. Some believe this is the world's oldest astronomical record. These weren't just decorations, they were protectors, or perhaps warnings. Symbols of a mythology we can no longer hear. And the pillars themselves? They are human-like. They have arms, belts, and loincloths. They are faceless titans watching over the hill. Göbekli Tepe doesn't just add to history, it flips the entire script. It suggests that it was religion that built civilization. For decades, the theory was simple. Humans learned to farm, settled into villages, and then built temples to unite the community. But at Göbekli Tepe, the temple comes first. It was the urge to gather for ritual that likely drove us to find ways to feed large groups, leading to farming. Thousands of people may have gathered here for seasonal feasts, sharing stories and eventually seeds. The sacred was the spark. But the greatest mystery isn't the building of Göbekli Tepe. It's the end, because the temple wasn't destroyed, it was interred. Around 8000 BCE, the people who used this site did something inexplicable. They systematically buried it. Every enclosure, every pillar. Why bury your most sacred masterpiece? Was it a final ritual? A way to close the temple? Or were they hiding it from something? For 10,000 years it lay hidden. A time capsule of a world that existed before the first word was ever written. Today, we are only seeing a fraction of what Göbekli Tepe has to offer. Over 90% of the site still remains underground. Geophysical scans show dozens more enclosures waiting to be revealed. We are at the very beginning of understanding our own origins. It reminds us that the people of the Stone Age weren't just survivors. They were thinkers, artists, and visionaries. They were us. Göbekli Tepe is a bridge to our forgotten selves, a monument that whispers, the spirit was born long before the plow. Discover more. Question everything. The history of humanity is still being written.